cracked after 40 years, the oldest cold cases ever solved. Some wounds fade with time. These stayed open for 4 decades. A woman vanishes in 1981. Police say maybe she ran away. Her son, just 5 years old, wakes up in an empty house. No goodbye, no note. She never came back. Then, in 2023, a box is found inside a church wall. Inside, bones, her wedding ring, and a photo, but not of her, of the man who buried her. These are the oldest cold cases ever solved. The victims were forgotten. The killers weren't even suspects, until the truth punched back. 40 years later. Case 1. The choir girl in the wall. Name, Darlene Brooks. Age, 27. Location, Birmingham, Alabama. Cold since 1981. Solved 2023. Darlene was a single mom, quiet, church-going. Every Sunday, she led the choir. Every Monday, she went missing. Police told her family she might have left town. They didn't file it as a homicide. They didn't even search the house. Her son, Marcel, kept asking, "Why did Mama leave her shoes?" Years passed. No answers. Then, 42 years later, workers renovating the basement of the old church heard a thud in the drywall. A box, nailed shut. Inside, skeletal remains. A hymnal signed Love, D, her ring, and a black and white photo of the church's original pastor, Reverend Thomas Clay. He died in 2001. Respected, praised. Now, the lead suspect. He was the last person to see her. And when Marcel was shown the picture, he said, "He used to babysit me after she disappeared." Case 2. The river that swallowed her name. Name, Gloria Esters. Age, 22. Location, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Cold since 1978. Solved 2021. She'd just gotten her nursing certificate. She was planning to move to Dallas. But one rainy night, her car was found parked by the river. Engine cold. Purse untouched. They said it was suicide. Her mama said Gloria couldn't swim, and she wasn't depressed. But no body was ever found. Until 2021, when drought dropped the water levels. A fisherman spotted something near a collapsed tree. A skeleton, wrapped in plastic. Inside the skull still lodged a bullet. That same year, a retired cop anonymously mailed in an envelope. Inside, photos from the original crime scene. A badge number, a typed note, "You missed the shot." The bullet matched a service weapon used by Officer Carl Bennett. He'd worked the scene in '78. He died in 2004. But his daughter later said, "He confessed something on his deathbed. I didn't understand it until now." Case 3. The man with 2 graves. Name, Jeremiah Fulton. Age, 34. Location, Detroit, Michigan. Cold since 1982. Solved 2022. Jeremiah vanished after leaving a steel mill job. His car, still in the parking lot. Wallet still inside. Keys on the seat. But in 1990, his family got closure. Police found remains in an abandoned lot. Dental records matched. The body was buried with his name. But in 2022, new tech proved the remains weren't his. So who was buried in Jeremiah's grave? Meanwhile, a Jane Doe found 20 miles away in 1983, stabbed 19 times, was reprocessed. Her clothes had male DNA. It matched Jeremiah Fulton. He hadn't gone missing. He had gone underground. He'd been using a fake name, living with a second family. He murdered the woman after she threatened to expose him. He was arrested in Nevada in 2022. At age 74, "I thought I outran it," he said. Case 4. The sketch that screamed. Name, Patrice Patty Montgomery. Age 19. Location, Jackson, Mississippi. Cold since 1980. Solved 2023. She was walking to work at a diner. She never made it. The only clue? A witness said she saw a man with weird glasses shove her into a blue van. Police made a sketch, but no suspects ever matched. Case frozen. In 2023, a true crime YouTuber, yes, a YouTuber, found a strange post on a forum. My dad always said, never trust a girl with diner shoes. He had a blue van in the 80s. Always hated the cops. The user posted an old Polaroid from a garage. In the corner, a partial sketch taped to the wall. It was the same sketch from Patty's case. The dad? Marcus Lyle, a tow truck driver who died in 2005. DNA from his old uniform, kept by the family, matched hairs found under Patty's fingernails. The sketch? He kept it as a trophy. Case 5, the box in the attic. Name, Alicia Thomas. Age, 16. Location, Newark, New Jersey. Cold since 1979. Solved 2020. She told her mom she was going to a friend's. She never came back. Posters, search parties, vigils, nothing. Then in 2020, a man cleaning out his grandfather's attic in Jersey City found a metal box. Inside, an old diary, teen girl's bracelet, Polaroid of Alicia, tied up. The man called police. Turned out his grandfather was Charles Denton, a former janitor at Alicia's high school. He died in 1995, but DNA from an old comb found in the attic sealed it. Alicia's remains were later found buried under a garden shed at the Denton family's former home. Case 6. The confession that came too late. Name, Eugene Moore. Age, 20. Location, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Cold since 1983. Solved 2024. Eugene was shot twice and left in a ditch. No witnesses, no suspects, no motive. Police said it might have been gang-related. His family said otherwise. He worked 2 jobs, never touched the streets. 40 years later, in a prison hospice unit, a dying inmate requested a chaplain. His name, Dennis Klein. In 1983, he was a rookie cop. He confessed to killing a black man after an argument about his girlfriend. Said he dumped the gun in the Arkansas River. That same day, a gun was recovered, buried in a floodplain from recent storms. The serial number? Scratched out, but forensic analysis matched it to the bullets. Too late for trial, but not too late for truth. Eugene's sister said, "We buried my brother. Now we can bury the lies too." Case 7. The house that wasn't empty. Name, Florence Hill. Age, 43. Location, Camden, New Jersey. Cold since 1980. Solved 2023. She worked nights as a cleaner. One evening, she never came home. Her apartment? Empty. Dishes still in the sink. TV still on. But the landlord said she must have just left. When her rent stopped coming in, the building was cleared and boarded up. 43 years later, a demolition crew found something behind a false wall in Unit 2B. A body, mummified, still wearing a janitor's badge. Florence. The cause of death? Blunt force trauma. And the person who sealed the wall? The building manager at the time, now a 92-year-old retired man living in Florida. DNA from a cigarette, but in his apartment matched skin cells under Florence's nails. He said, "I thought nobody would ever find her." Case 8, the whispering tape. Name, unknown. Location, Memphis, Tennessee. Cold since 1984. Solved, not yet, but close. In 2024, a thrift store clerk found a cassette player in a donation bin. Inside was a tape, labeled, "Do not play," but they did. First static, then a voice. "It's July 3rd, 1984. I'm in the basement. He locked me here. My name is..." Then silence. Police released the audio. Thousands of people online analyzed it. A TikToker traced the cassette model and traced it to a small batch sold in Memphis in the summer of '84. And just 2 days ago, a woman came forward. She said, "I think that voice. It's my sister." Her sister disappeared in 1984. Case never filed. Their father, prominent figure, kept it quiet. Now, the old family house is being searched. Basement locked. Walls sealed. And what's behind them? We'll find out. These cases stayed cold for decades. But silence doesn't mean peace. Sometimes it means someone was screaming, and nobody listened. You heard her voice. But who buried the truth? A cassette player donated to a Memphis thrift shop revealed a whisper from 1984. A woman, trapped, afraid, left a final message. He locked me here. My name is... Now, the house she named is being torn open, and what they found inside changes everything. Let's know your thoughts, share, and subscribe. Case 9, The Basement Diary. Name, believed to be Nicole Harris. Location, Memphis, Tennessee. Cold since 1984. Investigation active, 2024. After the tape aired, Vanessa Harris came forward. She hadn't heard her sister's voice in 40 years, but she recognized the soft stutter, the slight lisp, the fear. Nicole vanished July 3, 1984. Their father, Eldon Harris, told neighbors she ran off with a boyfriend. He never filed a report. He was a respected judge. He gave speeches about community values while silencing the truth in his own home. Police got a warrant. They entered the old Harris property. The basement was walled off, cemented shut, padlocked. When they tore it open, they found more than a room. They found a diary, dated entries, written in pencil. Days, weeks, months. Each entry ended the same way. He said, if I scream again, no one will hear me anyway. And then, it just stops. Inside a false panel, detectives discovered over 20 unmarked cassette tapes. Not just Nicole's voice, multiple voices, all female, all terrified. Some begged, others screamed. One chilling clip. Don't make me do this again. Please, please. You promised. The oldest tape? 1979. The newest? 1987. Nicole's wasn't the only life stolen. It was part of a pattern. Remember to follow and subscribe to this channel. Case 10. The girls behind the numbers. Names, still unknown. Location, Memphis, Tennessee. Cold range, 1979 to 1987. With the tapes, police launched an investigation into Judge Eldon Harris's career and home life. Neighbors now recall teenage girls coming by after school, said they were doing chores. He was real strict, never let anyone near the back of the house. There were screams once. I thought it was a TV. One of the voices on the tape matched an old missing persons report from 1980. Tanya Brooks, age 15, vanished after summer camp. Case was never solved. She was assumed a runaway, but audio forensics confirmed the tape was her. My name is Tanya. They'll say I ran. I didn't. An anonymous whistleblower leaked sealed family court records. Eldon Harris had been involved in dozens of juvenile cases. Girls, aged 13 to 17. Most were from poor families. Some were sent to foster homes. Others, juvenile detention. A disturbing pattern emerged. Many of those girls vanished after court. He never recorded conflicts of interest, never reported follow-ups, and never faced discipline. Case 11, the Graveyard School. One girl, Lakeisha Owens, 14, was last seen leaving juvenile court in 1985. She was supposed to transfer to a youth home. She never arrived. In 2024, cadaver dogs were brought to the Harris property. Behind the house, in the overgrown garden, bones, 6 partial skeletons. One with braces, one with a bullet lodged in the pelvis. Another, still wearing a child-sized cross necklace. Lakeisha's family confirmed, that's hers. That's the necklace she never took off. At the bottom of Nicole's diary was a page torn and retaped. It read, he said I wasn't the first. He made a room for each of us. But I'm the last. I heard the others stop screaming. The rooms? Small crawl spaces hidden behind insulation. They found fingerprints, scraps of clothing. One had a name carved into the wood. Jenny S. Police are now trying to match the initials to any closed foster cases from the 80s. Case 12, the nurse who knew too much. In 1991, A nurse named Charlene Dumas was found drowned in the Mississippi River. Ruled an accident. But a reopened tip revealed she worked for Eldon Harris's court division in the 80s. She told friends she planned to go to the press. Said she couldn't stay quiet anymore. A re-examination of her autopsy found ligature marks on her wrists, missed in the original report. Her car was found parked 2 blocks from the Harris residence. Coincidence? Now unlikely. In a shocking reveal, Eldon Harris had an adopted daughter, Monique Harris, taken in at age 6, raised quietly, never spoke publicly, moved away after college. She broke her silence on TikTok. "I always wondered why we weren't allowed in the basement. He said it was for court records. But I heard crying once, and I found a cassette in my toy box. I never told anyone. Now I know why." Her video has 3.4 million views and brought forward 2 new witnesses who claim they, too, were adopted by Eldon. Case 13, the teacher who disappeared. In 1986, a substitute teacher named Marcia Dean reported Eldon Harris for improper conduct with a student. 2 weeks later, she vanished. Her body was never found. No charges were filed. But new evidence shows her signature appears in court files the week she vanished, on a document sealing one of the very cases Harris ruled on. Now, a surviving photo of her has surfaced with a blurry background. But when zoomed, enhanced, and cleared, a blue panel door, exactly like the one leading to the Harris basement. Investigators now believe Judge Harris was a serial predator hiding behind the bench. The tapes, the basement, the hidden court files, it wasn't random. He used the law to pick victims, control them, erase them. He didn't just bury evidence. He buried people. In the final cassette recovered from the Harris home, one message stood out. A girl whispers, "He said someone would come for us one day. He said no one would believe black girls. But if you're listening now, please find the others. Don't let us die in the dark." The tape ends with a hum, a slow, haunting tune, the sound of a girl singing softly, almost a lullaby. Authorities believe there may be more victims, more properties, more tapes. These weren't just cold cases. They were buried screams, muted stories, sealed in courtrooms, locked in basements, and brushed off as runaways. But voices don't die, and even 40 years later, they can still be heard. A second property linked to Judge Harris is raided, and what they find might prove he didn't act alone, because no monster builds a kingdom without guards at the gate. Let's know your comments, like and subscribe to this channel.